A long time ago, there was a wise king who loved to teach his people life lessons. One day, he gave everyone a challenge. The king said, "There is a treasure hidden beyond the mountains. Whoever finds it will keep it. But the path is very dangerous, and you might fail many times before you succeed." The people were excited, and many brave men and women decided to try. Among them was a poor farmer named Raju. His farm was destroyed by a storm, and he needed the treasure to start his life again. When people saw him, they laughed and said, "A farmer can't do this. Go back to your village." Raju didn't listen to them. He was determined to try. Climbing the mountain. The path to the treasure was very hard. On the first day, Raju and the others climbed a steep, rocky trail. Many people got hurt and gave up. Raju slipped and hurt his knee. He had to go back down. People laughed at him and said, "You're wasting your time. You'll never make it." But Raju told himself, "If I stop now, I will regret it forever." The next day, Raju tried again. This time, he climbed higher, but a strong storm forced him to turn back. Even though he was tired, Raju said, "I'll try again tomorrow." The dangerous path to the valley. On the third day, most people had given up. Only a few remained, including Raju. His knee hurt and he was tired, but he didn't stop. As he climbed higher, the path became more dangerous. The trail narrowed and twisted, with steep drops on both sides. The wind howled, and the rocks underfoot became slippery. Raju had to crawl at times, carefully testing every step. He came across a narrow cliffside where the path seemed to disappear into the mist. The others were too afraid to continue. "It's too dangerous," they shouted. "No one could cross this alive." Raju looked at the cliff and said to himself, "If I don't try now, I will never know if I could have made it." He took a deep breath and stepped carefully forward, inching his way along the narrow path. Slowly, he made it through the fog and continued toward the next challenge. The wild river crossing. The next obstacle was a wild river that had swollen from the storm. Its waters were raging, and the current looked too strong to cross. The other challengers stopped, saying, "This is impossible. The river will drown us." Raju studied the river carefully and noticed a series of large stones sticking out above the water. They were slippery, but if he could leap from one to the next, he might make it across. Despite his fear, he decided to try. He carefully stepped onto the first stone. His heart raced as the cold water rushed past him. One by one, he leapt from stone to stone. Several times he lost his balance and nearly fell, but each time he caught himself. Finally, Raju made it to the other side, exhausted but relieved. He smiled to himself, thinking, "Every challenge is a test of my will." The broken bridge. Raju continued on, and after a long climb, he came upon the most dangerous path of all. A broken bridge hanging over a deep valley. The others had already given up, declaring the journey impossible. "No one can cross this," they said. But Raju didn't give up. He stood at the edge of the bridge and thought, "If I don't try now, I will never know if I could have made it." He carefully stepped onto the bridge, feeling the ropes shake beneath him. The wind howled, and the gap below seemed endless. But with every step, he gained confidence. He held onto the ropes tightly and focused on each movement. Slowly, he crossed the bridge, one foot in front of the other. On the other side, Raju saw a glowing cave. He entered and found the treasure, a chest full of gold and jewels. His heart swelled with pride, but he knew that the real treasure was the lessons he had learned along the way. The king's lesson. When Raju returned to the palace with the treasure, the king smiled and said, "Raju has shown us that success belongs to those who keep trying." Many people gave up, but Raju didn't stop, even after facing such dangerous paths. Raju bowed and said, "The treasure is wonderful, but the real reward is knowing I didn't quit. If I had stopped after failing, I would have spent my life asking, what if I had tried one more time?" The king turned to the crowd and said, "Remember this lesson. In life, you will face many challenges. The path may be dangerous. The obstacles may seem too great. But if you keep trying, you can achieve great things. Never give up. From that day, Raju became a hero, and everyone in the kingdom learned the value of perseverance. Moral of the story: never give up, no matter how hard something seems. Every failure is a step toward success. Sometimes one last try can lead to victory. Even the most dangerous paths can be conquered with patience and determination.